If you're watching this video, then most likely you've recently started your fitness journey, or you're at a decent way down your journey. And I must say, congratulations. What you're doing right now is going to be one of the most valuable habits you can do in your entire life. You'll become stronger, look better, and you become more confident in your abilities. Heck, look at me. I'm very thankful for the physique that God has allowed me to have. However, there are multiple pitfalls you're going to have to watch out for while on this journey. And many of these you might not expect to be there. But I can help you find them and avoid them. And I will show you how. So the first of these pitfalls when building yourself a strong body is obviously pride in oneself. Because think of it this way. You're constantly improving yourself in the gym, becoming bigger and bigger and becoming stronger and stronger as the days go by. And understandably, you're going to feel good about yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you're going to start seeing yourself as better than others. Then you're going to start looking at those who aren't going into the gym like you are. And you'll begin thinking, ugh, they don't go to the gym like me. They're less than me, man. And although neglecting going to the gym is not a good thing to do, we shouldn't be boasting about it. We shouldn't merely be thinking of ourselves as superior just because we pick heavy things up and put them back down. As time goes by and you become bigger and bigger and you become stronger and stronger, the pride in your mind grows bigger and bigger until one day you start believing to yourself, I don't need God. I've got my physique. Why would I need God in my life? And at that point, if God doesn't literally whack you with a bus, then you probably ain't going to change too much. And frankly, this pride can come from almost anything in the modern world. It can come from money. It can come from our friendships. It can come from our ability to have relationships with women. It can come from our social status. It can come from what we own. Through all of those things, we can eventually start believing that we don't need God because we have all these things. But we must not forget that these things, our physiques, our money, our relationships, they can all wither and fade away. But the will and the joy of God stays forever. So therefore, we must invest in His ways and His treasures. What we can instead do is ask God and say, Lord, You've given me great strength or great wisdom or great levels of money. Give me guidance on the best way to let it serve You. Therefore, we need the wisdom to use our gifts for God's will so that His kingdom may flourish here on earth. Now, the second of these pitfalls is probably one you have felt very often during your time at the gym. And that pitfall is envy. It is said that comparison is the thief of joy. And being in the gym proves that more than anything else. When you gaze upon someone that has a better physique than you do, you can't help but feel lesser. And you're asking, how in the world do they have that physique? I want that physique. That moment really hits you down deep until you start lifting heavier weights and trying to catch up, but you push yourself too hard until disaster strikes. All because you allowed your envy to take over your mind. Well, let me tell you something. That person over there has lived a completely different life than you probably have. He's probably been in the gym way longer than you have. Or maybe he has a good dietitian. Or heck, he could even be on roids. Don't let some stranger in the gym rob you of your joy just because they exist. This sense of envy can be especially prevalent on social media. Social media is, without a doubt, the biggest engine of envy in the modern world. I mean, everywhere you look on there, you see perfect physiques left, right, everywhere. And then you look at your okay physique and you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? I'm just not enough. But here's the truth about it. Every one of those pictures where the guy or girl is looking really, really amazing, more often than not, they don't actually look like that in real life. The lighting's been heavily adjusted, they've likely not had much water to drink that day, and heck, it might even be edited in Photoshop. So in reality, they might look much different from what they look like in their pictures. So why would you let perfectly curated photographs and videos control how you want to live your life? I know I'm saying this again, but we must not allow ourselves to be governed by the rules and the standards of this world, but we must allow ourselves to be governed and ruled by the standards of the world above. So we must follow the standards of He who stepped down from His heavenly throne and offered Himself as ransom to the forces of evil so that we might be with Him forever. We must use the gifts that God has given us, not simply use them for our own selfish gain, nor should we hide them away, but we must use them to further his kingdom, so that he may be glorified forever. So thank you so much for watching this video. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.